Welcome back to Dreamy Train Tales. Thank you for joining me tonight. Now let's settle down and begin our journey together. If this brings you peace, please like and subscribe so we can explore more historic railways together, but only if it truly helps you unwind. And if you'd like, please share in the comments where you're listening from and what time of day it is for you right now. If you genuinely appreciate these journeys, you can support my channel by buying me a coffee through the link in the description. Every coffee helps me improve and create even more relaxing adventures for you. Thank you so much for your support. Tonight, you find yourself standing on the platform of the Taumarunui railway station in the early summer of the 1930s, as the first soft light of morning spreads across the town. The air is cool, calm, and freshly washed by the night. A faint scent of rain still lingers, mixing gently with the warm coal and polished timber of the platform. You hear the rustling of tall poplar trees nearby, each leaf turning in the mild morning breeze, creating a soft whisper that blends with the distant murmur of the Whanganui River. The Daylight Limited waits before you, painted in deep red and cream, its surfaces glowing under the pale sunlight. You notice the steam rising from the locomotive, drifting upward in a slow ribbon that curls softly into the quiet air. The engine gives a low, steady breath, like it is waking up beside you, stretching gently before the long climb ahead. There is something reassuring in that calm power, something steady and patient, something that invites you to exhale a little more deeply. Before we begin this journey together, take a moment to settle in wherever you are. Let your shoulders soften. Allow your jaw to unclench. Take one slow breath in, letting it fill you with calm, and then let it drift out in an easy, unhurried release. The gentle rhythm of this historic railway is here to support you and carry you, helping you move away from the noise of the day and into a quiet place within yourself. As the early morning continues to brighten, you step closer to the carriages. The wooden panels of the train glow with a warm sheen, polished by countless hands and countless journeys. The brass handles catch the light, sending a faint shimmer across your fingertips as you run your hand over them. You hear the distant clatter of carts moving crates of produce and luggage, each wheel clicking softly across the platform, adding a gentle beat to the slow morning rhythm. A guard in a neat navy uniform checks his pocket watch, nodding politely to passengers as they board. The Daylight Limited is known for its punctuality, running along the North Island main trunk line that connected Wellington and Auckland. In the 1930s, this line represented a powerful achievement for Aotearoa, New Zealand, linking distant towns and communities through rugged landscapes that once felt unreachable. You sense a quiet pride in the station workers and the passengers, as though this journey is part of something important, something shared. You step up into your carriage. The interior greets you with soft velvet seats in deep forest green, polished wooden walls with decorative carvings, and wide windows that invite the scenery inside. The light pours in gently, giving the entire space a warm golden tone. You feel the carriage's stillness wrap around you, offering stability, comfort, and a sense of being held. You settle into your seat and let your back sink into the cushions. Your hands rest softly on your lap. A quiet hum runs through the train, steady and soothing, like a soft breath beneath the surface. The conductor moves down the aisle with deliberate steps, his shoes tapping lightly on the wooden floor. He offers a gentle smile and wishes everyone a peaceful journey. Outside your window, Taumarunui slowly stirs into life. Sunlight touches the rooftops, illuminating the houses that line the hills. You spot smoke rising from chimneys, curling upward in thin wisps. Small shops begin to open. A baker places fresh loaves on display. A child holds her mother's hand as she waves at the train with bright morning excitement. It all feels warm, familiar, and peaceful. You inhale deeply, letting the scent of warm wood, faint coal, and fresh morning air fill your senses. Another breath follows, slower this time, and you feel your chest rise and fall in a calming rhythm. The seat beneath you seems to cradle your body, helping you settle just a bit more, inviting your muscles to soften. A gentle bell rings along the platform. The guard lifts his arm. A sharp but soft whistle echoes through the air. The locomotive answers with a calm chuff, steady and confident. You feel a small tremor beneath your feet, a subtle vibration that rolls through the carriage and settles into your bones with a soothing warmth. This is the beginning of the climb toward the Volcanic Plateau, a journey known for its sweeping scenery and engineering marvels. The train begins to move with a slow, deliberate lurch. The station glides past your window in a gentle blur. You notice the soft, rhythmic clicking of the wheels as they find their pace. Taumarunui drifts away behind you, growing smaller and softer with each passing second as the landscape opens into fields of early summer green. You lean your head comfortably against the seat, letting the motion carry you. A soft breeze, drawn in through a small open window near the carriage door, brings the scent of damp earth and distant wildflowers. Each breath you take feels easier, calmer, more peaceful. The daylight limited gathers itself, stretching into a steady rhythm, its wheels turning with purpose as it begins the gentle ascent. The sunlight brightens, casting a warm glow across the interior, filling the carriage with a serene and welcoming light. You feel the train lifting you away from the weight of the world, guiding you forward into the quiet calm of the journey ahead. The train continues its slow, steady climb out of Taumarunui, moving deeper into the heart of the central North Island. The early summer light rests gently across the hills, turning every surface warm and golden. As you settle into the soft rhythm of the wheels, you feel your body grow heavier in the most comforting way, as though the motion is inviting every muscle to loosen. You allow yourself to lean back just a little more, letting the gentle sway support you as the daylight limited carries you forward. Outside your window, the landscape shifts into rolling farmland. Paddocks stretch out in soft tones of green and gold, dotted with grazing sheep that move slowly through the morning light. The fences that line the fields create gentle lines across the land, guiding your gaze toward distant hills. A few small farmhouses appear, painted in muted whites and creams, their chimneys sending thin trails of smoke into the calm air. Everything feels quiet and unhurried, as though the world has just woken up and is still stretching into the day. The wheels beneath you follow their steady pattern, a soothing rhythm that seems to melt into your breath. You close your eyes for a moment and feel the movement wash through you, softening your shoulders and relaxing your back. When you open them again, the scenery has shifted. The farmland gives way to tall stands of native bush, thick with rimu, kahikatea, and totara trees. Their branches sway gently, stirring in the warm breeze as the train curves along the hillside. The Daylight Limited was celebrated in the early 1930s for its comfort and speed, linking cities and towns that once felt impossibly distant. The North Island Main Trunk Line was completed in 1908, and its construction through this rugged region was considered an engineering triumph. As the train moves forward, you imagine the workers who carved tunnels through dense volcanic rock and built towering viaducts across deep river gorges. Their efforts made journeys like this possible, allowing passengers to travel across landscapes that once required days of difficult walking or horseback riding. The train enters a shaded section of track where tall trees arch above you, forming a canopy that filters the sunlight into dappled patterns across the ground. The temperature drops slightly, and a faint coolness rolls in through the open window near the carriage door. You inhale deeply, taking in the scent of moss, damp soil, and fresh leaves. It feels like stepping into another world, a world held gently in the hush of the forest. A narrow stream winds its way alongside the tracks, flashing silver through breaks in the vegetation. Its water moves quickly, bubbling over small rocks, creating a soft, lively sound that blends with the size of the locomotive. Every detail seems to encourage you into deeper calm. The rhythm of the train steadies. Your breathing slows to match it. A sense of peace settles over you like a soft blanket. As the train climbs higher, the forest grows thicker. Ferns rise along the banks, their fronds unfolding in delicate spirals. Nikau palms sway with a slow, graceful motion. The trunks of tall trees stretch upward into the light, their bark textured and rich with color. You watch the scenery drift by in a gentle blur, each moment flowing into the next, like watching the world exhale around you. The train approaches the Ongaroo Spiral, one of the most impressive engineering features of the line. Built in the early 1900s, the spiral allows the railway to gain height in difficult terrain by looping over itself. You feel the slight shift in motion as the train curves along the lower loop. The wheels glide with a smooth, confident rhythm. The carriage tilts gently as it moves through the bend. Then the train enters a short tunnel, the light dimming for a moment before returning as you emerge onto the higher level. Through your window, you might even glimpse part of the track below, a quiet reminder of the ingenuity that made this journey possible. You continue to breathe slowly as the train rolls onward. You feel the gentle pressure of the seat supporting your back. A soft warmth spreads across your hands and arms as the sunlight filters through the window. The hum of the locomotive becomes more pronounced as the incline grows steeper, yet the motion remains smooth and consistent, weaving through the natural contours of the land. The forest begins to open again. Pockets of sunlight spill through the trees, illuminating flowers along the banks. Small white blooms cluster among the shadows, swaying in the breeze that catches the edge of the train. You follow their movement with your eyes and feel something inside you loosen a little more, like a knot gently untangling. Your mind drifts with the scenery. Perhaps you think about the people who once traveled this same route, dressed in early 20th century clothing, carrying luggage made of leather and brass. You imagine the conversations they shared, the anticipation they felt as they crossed unfamiliar landscapes. The past and present blend for a moment, as though you are sharing this timeless passage with travelers from long ago. The train enters a wider valley, You watch as the land stretches out into an open expanse, framed by distant ridges. The fields here are dotted with wildflowers in subtle shades of yellow and white. A small cluster of sheep stands near a fence line, lifting their heads curiously as the train passes. A farmer on horseback rides slowly across a paddock, guiding a dog that trots eagerly ahead. Everything moves in steady, thoughtful rhythms, echoing the pace of the journey. The wheels produce a soft, repeating sound, almost musical in its consistency. You notice how your breath has settled into that rhythm, each inhale aligned with the rise of the track, each exhale following the gentle sway of the carriage. You let yourself relax into that sensation, feeling a quiet sense of harmony between your body and the motion of the train. As the climb continues, the train approaches the Makatote Viaduct, one of the tallest railway structures in the southern hemisphere at the time of its completion. You feel a subtle shift as the carriage moves onto the long steel span. The view opens beneath you, revealing a deep gorge lined with dense forest. The river below glints in the sunlight as it winds between the trees. You are held high above it all, suspended in a space where time seems to stretch and soften. The train crosses the viaduct with a slow, steady glide. As you look out across the vast space, you feel a sense of peaceful openness expanding inside you. The air feels lighter, clearer. Your thoughts grow quieter, calmer, more distant, like clouds drifting across a wide blue sky. When the train reaches the far side, the landscape shifts again. The dense forest begins to thin, giving way to tall grasses and patches of open scrub. The air grows warmer as sunlight spills across the land without interruption. The horizon widens, revealing the first distant shapes of the volcanic plateau. You catch a glimpse of the tall forms of Mount Ruapehu and Mount Ruapehu rising far ahead, their peaks softened by a faint summer haze. You breathe in slowly, letting the warm air fill your chest. The scent is different now, carrying hints of dry grass and sun-warmed earth. As you exhale, you feel something inside you release, as though the wide open landscape has created room for your thoughts to settle. The train continues its steady climb, the engine working with quiet determination. The movement becomes smoother, as though the incline is easing. You feel the carriage level slightly beneath you, indicating that the plateau is near. The sunlight fills the entire carriage now, casting long beams across the seats and floor. Dust motes drift lazily in the warm air, turning and glimmering like tiny sparks. Your eyes soften as you watch them. Your breathing remains slow and even. The world feels gentle and spacious, held in the bright calm of early summer. The volcanic plateau waits ahead, wide and open, ready to welcome you into its quiet expanse. The journey continues, carrying you deeper into rest, deeper into stillness, and deeper into the warm heart of the afternoon. The landscape widens as the train reaches the edge of the volcanic plateau. The gradual climb that shaped the earlier part of the day softens now, and the daylight limited settles into a smooth, level glide. You feel the shift instantly. The carriage steadies beneath you, and the rhythm of the wheels becomes deeper, calmer, almost meditative. You let your spine ease into the seat again, your shoulders softening as the motion carries you forward across the open land. Outside the window, the plateau stretches with a sense of vastness that feels almost dreamlike. Long grasses ripple in waves across the plain, catching the warm light as the sun begins its slow arc toward afternoon. The air seems clearer here, the sky wider, the horizon farther away. You let your gaze drift toward it and feel the space inside your mind open in response, like a quiet room with windows thrown open to a soft breeze. Mount Ruapehu rises in the distance, its slopes wide and imposing, though softened by summer warmth. You can see streaks of white snow lingering near its summit, glimmering faintly in the bright light. Mountain Gauruho stands nearby, its perfect cone shape casting a gentle shadow across the land. Both mountains hold a steady presence. You watch them with quiet awe, feeling the calm weight of their presence settle around you. A gentle wind moves across the plateau, bending the grasses into long rolling patterns. The train glides through these motions as though floating across a golden green sea. You breathe in slowly, letting the scene soothe you. The air feels warm and dry. The scent carries hints of summer dust, sunlit earth, and the faint sweetness of alpine flowers. It is a scent that seems to settle your thoughts, inviting them to slow and drift. The Volcanic Plateau has always been a place of significance. Early Maori travelers crossed these lands following ancestral pathways, guided by the presence of the mountains. Later, in the early 1900s, railway workers labored through harsh conditions to extend the main trunk line across this rugged terrain. They built tracks over unstable volcanic soils, through exposed ridges, and across shifting ground affected by eruptions and weather. Their perseverance turned these remote areas into accessible crossings, allowing passengers like you to glide through a region once known only for its wild isolation. The train curves gently around a long bend, offering a wider view of the plateau. A small hut stands alone in the distance, its roof rusted red, its walls weathered by countless seasons. It looks peaceful against the broad landscape, a tiny reminder of the people who maintain the tracks and care for the line. You imagine someone stepping out with a cup of tea in hand, watching the train pass by each day with quiet familiarity. The rhythm of the wheels deepens again, creating a steady heartbeat beneath the carriage. You notice how naturally your breath follows it now, each inhale rising in time with the forward motion, each exhale falling into the soft sway. The warmth of the sunlight begins to mellow as the afternoon stretches on. The shadows grow longer, moving slowly across the grasslands in gentle shapes. As the train continues across the plateau, you notice the color of the land shifting. The grasses turn more golden, and patches of heather appear in muted purples. Small volcanic rocks dot the landscape, remnants of ancient eruptions long cooled. Their dark surfaces contrast with the bright summer ground, creating patterns across the plain that seem to drift past in a slow, calming rhythm. A group of birds glides overhead, their wings catching the light as they circle effortlessly above the open land. You watch them rise and fall in the air, feeling your thoughts drift with them. Every movement outside seems soft and unhurried, encouraging you to sink deeper into the gentle pace of the journey. The train passes a small station known as Waiouru. Its platform stands quiet beneath the bright sky. A few wooden buildings sit beside the tracks, their simple shapes softened by the sun. You see no passengers, only a station worker standing near a stack of crates, his hat tilted against the light. He watches the train roll by with a slow wave. The gesture feels warm and familiar, like a greeting from someone who has known this landscape all his life. Waiouru became an important stop after the line's completion in 1908, serving as a cold, wind-swept outpost during winter and a bright, sunlit stretch in summer. You imagine travelers stepping off the train here decades ago, stretching their legs before continuing north or south along the main trunk. Those passengers once felt the same gentle sway that you feel now, the same steady pull of the locomotive guiding them across the plateau. The sun shifts lower, settling into a soft golden hue. The plateau glows with warm light that seems to stretch for miles. You notice the way the light touches the distant slopes of Ruapehu, painting them in soft tones of amber and rose. The sight brings a quiet sense of serenity that spreads through your chest, releasing the last traces of tension from earlier in the day. The train moves through another gentle curve. The wheels follow the track with slow, deliberate precision. The sound echoes through the carriage in a soothing pattern that feels almost like a lullaby. You allow your hands to rest loosely in your lap. Your breathing remains steady, warm, and calm. A small lake appears in the distance, reflecting the sky in smooth silver. The surface lies perfectly still, untouched by wind. As the train passes, the reflection shifts slightly, creating ripples of color that drift across the water. It looks like a mirror placed gently upon the land, capturing the beauty of the plateau in a single, peaceful frame. The air thickens slightly with warmth as the sun continues its descent. You feel it against your skin, comforting and soft. The scenery begins to change again as small stands of manuka and kanuka trees appear scattered across the plain. Their twisted branches reach upward, catching the last bright rays of the day. The wheels continue their steady motion. The carriage sways lightly. You feel deeply at ease, as though the entire landscape is breathing alongside you, slowly and calmly. The train begins a slow descent as it moves away from the highest part of the plateau. The land becomes more varied. Small gullies open beside the track. Grassy hills rise and fall in gentle waves. The vastness of the plateau starts to give way to the soft, rolling shapes that lead toward the surrounding valleys. Your eyes follow each curve of the land. The colors shift again, growing richer and deeper as the afternoon leans toward evening. The sky takes on a softer shade of blue, with hints of gold gathering near the horizon. The journey carries you onward, always forward, always steady. You feel as though you are floating, carried not only by the motion of the train but by the calm that fills the world around you. Every detail moves in harmony: the light, the land, the rhythm of the wheels, the gentle sway of the carriage. A sense of peaceful anticipation rises within you, as though the evening ahead holds quiet moments waiting to unfold. The air cools slightly as the train descends further. You inhale the crispness and exhale slowly, letting the motion ease through you. The volcanic plateau stretches behind you now, fading into the soft glow of the lowering sun. Ahead lies the path toward the deepening afternoon, toward the valleys that cradle the southern towns, and toward the calm that accompanies the final hours of the day. The journey continues, guiding you deeper into rest, deeper into warmth, deeper into the gentle quiet of summer evening across the North Island. The afternoon light deepens as the train eases into its long descent from the volcanic plateau. You notice the shift almost immediately. The air flowing through the carriage grows cooler, carrying the clean scent of highland grasses and distant forest. The soft sway beneath you becomes a little more pronounced, almost like the gentle rocking of a calm sea. You let your muscles follow the movement, loosening slightly with every smooth tilt of the carriage. Outside your window, the broad openness of the plateau transitions step by step into a landscape of rolling ridges. Each ridge seems to rise gently, then fall again into a wide valley filled with golden grass. The light rests on these hillsides in warm, slanting beams that stretch across the land like long, comforting hands. You take in the scene with slow breaths, each inhale filling you with the quiet of the evening, each exhale releasing anything that still clings from the day. A few scattered farmhouses dot the distant slopes. Their roofs shine softly under the sun, and thin trails of smoke rise from chimneys as families prepare their evening meals. You imagine the smell of stew simmering, the sound of clinking dishes, the warmth of lamps glowing behind small windows. There is something tender in knowing life is unfolding quietly all around you as the train glides through the hills. The Daylight Limited passes over a tall wooden viaduct, its beams long and elegant, stretching across a wide valley below. The structure feels steady beneath you, though the height adds a gentle flutter in your chest. The sound of the wheels becomes crisp and resonant, echoing across the open space. You watch the shadow of the train glide along the valley floor, stretched tall and graceful beneath the sinking sun. In the 1930s, these viaducts were considered engineering achievements, crafted with care to navigate the rugged landscape between the North Island's central plateau and its southern farmlands. Many of them were built using locally sourced timber, selected and cut by skilled workers who had spent years learning how to shape the forest's strength into reliable structures. Their craftsmanship continues to hold the line steady beneath you, guiding the train across valleys that once slowed travel for days. The scenery becomes more textured as the track moves deeper into the hills. Small streams glint in the fading light, winding through the valleys in gentle silver ribbons. Sheep graze near the tracks, their wool glowing pale gold under the sun. A shepherd's dog trots behind them, keeping a steady watch. The wheels continue their rhythmic song, a soft clicking that blends with the warm hush of evening. You allow your eyelids to grow heavy for a few moments, feeling the gentle weight settle over them. The motion of the carriage cradles your thoughts, helping them drift and soften, until all that remains is the slow, soothing beat of the journey. The train begins to curve along a hillside, revealing a series of terraced paddocks below, lined with long fences that stretch across the land in neat patterns. Each fence post casts a thin shadow behind it, creating stripes of light and dark along the grass. The sight feels peaceful and ordered, a quiet landscape shaped by patient hands over many decades. You take another slow breath. The air feels cooler still, touched by the promise of night. A faint hint of wood smoke drifts in through the carriage, adding a comforting warmth to the scent of earth and grass. The sun dips lower, turning the sky a soft blend of amber and rose. A few clouds drift across it with unhurried grace, catching the colors like brushstrokes in a quiet painting. As the descent continues, the train approaches a small settlement nestled between the hills. You see slender lines of trees planted as windbreaks, their branches swaying gently. A narrow dirt road runs parallel to the track for a short while, and a lone cyclist pedals along it, waving as the train passes. His hat flutters behind him in the breeze. The moment feels simple and kind, like a small gift from the world outside. The Daylight Limited continues its journey toward Taihape, known during this era as a bustling rural town supported by sheep farming and wool production. For decades, Taihape served as a crucial stop along the main trunk line, allowing travelers to stretch their legs, pick up supplies, or send telegrams before continuing north or south. The name itself would later become synonymous with gumboot throwing, though that tradition lay far in the future from your current moment in the 1930s. The hills begin to soften as the town draws nearer. The slopes become rounder, the valleys wider, and the light more diffused. Everything outside seems wrapped in a warm glow, as if the evening is gently tucking the land under a soft blanket. You rest your hand against the window frame, feeling the faint vibration of the train move through your fingers like a calming pulse. Another viaduct appears ahead, taller and more intricate than the last. The wooden beams cross a deep, forested gully filled with dense ferns and towering trees. As the train moves across it, the forest canopy spreads out beneath you like a wide green field. You spot the tops of trees that grow far below the track, their leaves shifting in waves as the breeze rises through the gully. The depth of the valley inspires a quiet sense of awe, yet the steadiness of the train keeps you grounded, relaxed, and comforted. The rhythm of the wheels deepens as the train rolls down the final stretch. The sky grows softer with every passing minute. Shades of lavender and blue blend gently above the hills, and a thin line of warm gold lingers along the horizon. You watch it slowly fade, replaced by the cool hush of twilight. Taihape comes into sight at last. The lamps along the streets begin to flicker on, creating pockets of warm brightness scattered across the town. The train slows with a long, soothing sigh of steam. You feel the change in pace through your body, a gentle deceleration that carries a sense of completion. The Daylight Limited glides toward the station platform, its wheels rolling with soft, deliberate clicks. The evening feels calm, welcoming, and still. You take one last breath of the cool air drifting through the carriage, letting the scent of earth, wood, and twilight settle inside you. The journey has carried you through open land, over high plateaus, across deep valleys, and into the soft glow of evening. Now the train prepares to rest for the night, and you prepare to drift into a deeper state of calm. As this gentle journey draws to its peaceful close, you feel the train easing into stillness. The wheels give a soft, settling sigh beneath you, and the evening air drifts calmly through the carriage. Your breathing naturally slows to match the quiet rhythm around you. Each inhale feels cool and unhurried, and each exhale melts softly into the growing night. The last traces of daylight fade across the hills outside. The sky settles into deep shades of blue, with a single, pale star appearing above the horizon. The world feels hushed and comfortable, wrapped in the soft calm that arrives just after sunset. You let your shoulders loosen a little more as this quiet settles over the land. The faint warmth of the carriage surrounds you. The seat beneath you supports your body in a steady, comforting cradle. You feel the softness of your breath moving gently through your chest, rising and falling like slow waves against a quiet shore. With every breath, your thoughts drift a little farther from the day and a little closer to rest. The last sounds of the journey become soft whispers, a distant rustle of trees, a faint murmur from the platform outside, the quiet hum of the engine cooling in the evening air. Everything blends together into a warm, steady lullaby that carries you deeper into calm. You allow yourself to sink fully into this moment, knowing there is nothing left to do, nothing left to think about, nothing left to hold. The journey has guided you gently from afternoon light into evening stillness, and now into the soft darkness of night. You are safe, you are warm, and you are ready to rest. Sweet dreams and good night.